స్లోగా ఉంది సంథింగ్.
Yes, sir, it's all live, sir, now. Good afternoon, dear students. So,
Let me.
welcome back to the season 2 of this semester. That is, we are going to have a discussion on the course managing self and leading others. As all of you know, self management is very important. Self management, I think it has some levels. Physical self management to mind management to intellectual to emotional and spiritual management. I think if you manage all these dimensions of personality, you can lead others well also. So I think this was a very important subject for all upcoming leaders or managers. If you know yourself well and you can manage, then only can manage the others well. So with a few words, I am welcoming to this session, and as you know, our esteemed mentor and guru, Sri Damamuti sir, was going to deliver some master classes on this subject. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Upendra. I am extremely thankful to Upendra sir again, who is the pivot behind the MBA program of the Hindu College Machilipatnam, affiliated to Krishna University. I'm very much pleased to be here again. It's a homecoming for me to be with you all. I welcome all the student friends of the Hindu College. And as we have already initiated the what do you call online session to be streamed on YouTube. I do not know how many of you are on the panel and going through YouTube Live. I'm extremely thankful to in welcoming all of you to this session. Please note that this is the session that is planned for the MBA final year students of the Hindu College, Machilipatnam, affiliated to Krishna University. And all the master classes from now on will be open on YouTube live stream, and those who are interested can join, and we'll be giving you the notifications as and when we plan for it. Once again, thank you very much. All those seniors who are on the panel and witnessing the watching YouTube live, please bear with me that this is focused to MBA final year students. Upendra, can you have any idea of how many are there on YouTube? Also, we are safe on.
Yes, sir. I'm just watching it, sir.
Okay, right. This the paper title for them is "Managing Self and Leading Others." As you're aware that anybody who is supposed to be in charge of any functional area need be fully aware of what he is. So you are supposed to be defining yourself clearly, your role and all that before you step into the coordinating role, coordinating with others, leading others, communicating with others, or whatever, controlling others, or whatever it is. So we need to answer this question first. Managing self. Are you able to manage yourself? If you are not able to manage yourself, reasons may be very many, then it becomes difficult for you to manage others. And the chemistry between yourself and others becomes a big question mark, and thereby it definitely influences the group dynamics. So there is no point in blame gaming, meaning others blame you and you blame others, and ultimately both of you blame the organizational setting, culture, and everything. This blame gaming should stop somewhere. So, if you would like to be very conscious about your role, try to understand the concept called managing self. Please note that it is the paper which I deal with online. I take I take up session by session and unit by unit. So, for other friends other than students, try to understand my presence here that I take up unit by unit for detailed discussion to help students. So, the first unit, some of the topics in the first unit which are given in the syllabi or anatomy of self, we discuss on anatomy of self first. Anatomy of self meaning understanding the mind, the intellect, and the subconscious mind. We welcome you to the discussion on this topic today. Now, what do you understand by anatomy of self? The mind, the intellect, and the subconscious mind. Mind it, when we talk about anatomy, we are not talking about anatomy of the entire body as such. We're interested in talking something about the mind, the intellect, and the subconscious mind. Understanding oneself through the lens of psychological components, which are the mind, the intellect, and the subconscious mind. So, why all this discussion now? This understanding is very vital for personal and leadership development. If you want to develop yourself and develop your team through leadership, this understanding is very vital. So, it is in this context we discuss this terminology and the undercurrents of these terms. The self is a combination of one's mental faculties. It includes thinking, it includes your attitudes and all that. And that shape the behavior of yours and your decisions, decision effectiveness, and your actions and behavior. People are known by their actions, not by their words. The saying goes like that. And there is something going on behind your, when you act this way, that way, there's something going behind this. Let's try to understand. So, the key points which are meant for discussion here are self awareness. So, self awareness is very crucial for personal growth and effective leadership. Do you understand? So, understanding the components of self allows us to very definitely navigate internal and external challenges with more clarity. Internal is about your thought process, which goes inside, and external is how you are going to coordinate with others who are there present with you, teaming up with in the organization as such. So you should be very clear in navigating your internal challenges as well as external challenges. So the learnings here would be the journey of leadership starts with understanding oneself. If it says understanding oneself, there are three layers, as I've already said, and we get into the detailed discussion of these three layers of self. One is the mind, the conscious aspect of thinking that interacts with the external world. So, do you think? Yes, the bumpy knot inside the skull, which is the nerve center for billions of nerve cells, most of us do have. And this is the mind, what we call it, the conscious aspect of thinking that helps us to think. And our thinking intellect is because of that. And we interact with the external world and try to identify the problems and try to identify the solutions matching that particular problems and all. That's how the thinking goes on. Then what is the intellect? Yeah, the decision making mechanism that analyzes, evaluates, and directs our actions. It is supplemental, the mind, the intellect. See, you are for relatively, good decisions, and how you take good decisions. I mean, correct decisions, relatively correct decisions. You know pretty well that the decision making is a mechanism wherein you analyze different alternative situations to a given problem. First of all, you try to identify the problem, analyze the problem, and frame out alternatives, analyze and evaluate all alternatives, and then come on to direct actions. This is what we call the intellect. Then about the subconscious mind. Most of us do have the subconscious mind, The deep and internal storage of habits, beliefs, and past experiences shaping atomic reactions of ours. So subconscious mind is said to be very powerful, which cannot be, can be seen or felt initially, but you see the presence of it and the magic of the subconscious mind through the discussion. When you go into further discussion, we can identify the role of the subconscious mind. Now, the key points here are these three elements work together to form how we think, how we act, and react. So, the successful leaders always leverage all the three to manage themselves and lead others, mind it. So, let's now go one by one for detailed discussion for our analysis. The mind, the characteristics now. The conscious mind. And you all know that this is responsible for your thoughts, reasoning, and temporary working memory. Because you see things, you study problems, you analyze things, you provide sufficient reasoning for that. Then based on this, you start acting and help solving, number of problems. So the key characteristics of the mind is it processes sensory inputs and current tasks, but it has a limited capacity because people are different. So naturally, the thinking capacities and all that may have a limiting factor. When you have sensory input, sensory organs send lots of inputs, and the mind processes it because you see, you smell, and you listen, and you taste, and all that. You feel the touch factor. So a lot of sensory inputs through sensory organs, information is set in, and analysis is done by the brain here. It's always in the present, engaged in problem solving. It's in the present. You are always, mind is in the present. That's why we often say, oh, is your mind absent? Please be here. So it's always in the present, engaged in problem solving always. Let's take an example. When you students solve a case study, your mind evaluates data and comes up with potential solutions. If you do not have the presence of mind, then it's just impossible. If you take a mental excursion, the sentences that go in a case study cannot be understood. And sometimes you can misunderstand also if you do not have the presence of mind in reading through with concentration. So your mind evaluates data. You have the ability to evaluate data and then come up with potential solutions. Now, some of the additional points for us to mention here is the mind is driven by external stimuli and immediate needs, making it reactive. For example, in the cases which is not very much interesting, and the case is related to the subject which you did not study, then you lose interest. So then the external stimuli forces you to shut off because it's not of some interest to you and the subject is not studied and all that, or you are not at all interested in that particular case at the given point. Reasons may be very many. So the mind is driven by external stimuli and immediate needs and making it reactive. It can be positive reaction or negative reaction, as a matter of fact. If it is positively reacting, yes, it helps you to understand things and delve into different aspects of that particular case and evaluate alternatives and all. If the reaction is negative, then everything gets locked up. Let's take a real life example. The conscious mind is always there in decision making. Let's take a scenario and see how these things work. For example, you are leading a business team with a task of launching a new product. Yeah, please note the problem. You're launching a new product and you're sitting with your business team. So all the entire team members led by you have a task of launching a new product. So how you are going to proceed? to attempt that particular problem. The problem is launching a new product. You and along with your team are sitting on a table across the table. Let's see conscious mind's role. One, analyzes the market. Yes, you start points. Starting point is like this. You start analyzing the market. What are the existing products and all? See the entire step process as such. Your conscious mind looks at the market trends and what are the products available, etc., etc., etc. And then what type of customers are there and what are the customers' needs. This also must be studied properly, and then discusses the strategies with the team members that how we can launch this product, position this product, how can you match the customers needs with the project and with the product and all. So this is how the conscious mind's role will be in problem solving here. So then if it is done, if this process is appropriately good enough, then what is the outcome? The mind's active engagement with the task at hand. What is the task at hand? Launching a new product, understanding consumers, understanding the market clearly, and understanding the competitors' products as well. So this kind of a thing, understanding, engagement, helps you to come up with an actionable business plan. Yes. If that is absent, in the sense analytical things that have, absent completely, then the problem cannot be solved. So what is the learning here? The conscious mind is your day-to-day workhorse minded. That's why if you can't keep your mind at gear, then everything will go out of order. So it is responsible. The conscious mind is responsible for active management in leadership decisions. Could you get the point what I'm saying? So that's the importance of conscious mind. Let's come to the second part is what we call the intellect. Okay, analysis is fine. Conscious mind helps you to analyze things in a broader perspective. Then again, you have to go for an action plan, like you have to decide it, right? You can't go for analysis, and ultimately paralysis, as a matter of fact. You have to stop somewhere and decide on what to do, what not to do as such. So the intellect, the decision maker inside your brain, the intellect is the higher mental faculty that discriminates and directs thoughts towards action. Absolutely important. Thinking is one thing and action is the other. And for action, yes, the decision maker, the intellect in the mind is very important because you weigh alternatives. Which decision can be, which alternative is good, in which respect. You weigh all the alternatives. There are a number of objectives in mind where you, in the process of evaluating of your different alternatives and then take a decision. So the intellect is the decision maker, and it is the mental faculty that discriminates and directs thoughts towards actions. Take out all unpracticable, impracticable things and all that, and take decision on a matter which mostly concerning you after evaluating all the alternatives. So what is the role of this the intellect aspect of your brain? The intellect helps you to make decisions by weighing different options. Just now I was talking to you, by weighing different options and evaluating them logically. If not this, what may happen? What is the risk? What is the advantage, benefit, risk benefit analysis, cost benefit analysis, what cost and what are the benefits and all. So this kind of very intellectual activity takes place. That's what we call intellect. And it also allows you to consider long-term implications for your decisions, especially in business scenarios when you're working. We're not interested in short-term decisions. As of course, a short-term decision may be good enough for a short-term advantage, but sometimes what happens is it may be a little costlier for us to proceed further. So most of the decisions are for long term. So this intellect part of the brain allows you to consider long term implications of taking your decisions. That's very important. Let's take an example here. Analyzing a merger deal. That means company ABC and company XYZ are merging together. And now you need to decide on this merger. Will you be allowing this merger to happen, or do you welcome it, or you're not interested in this merger? Because coming to the decision of merger means here there is a chance for us to go for a joint advantage. But yet you need to analyze. So analyzing a merger deal requires careful consideration of risks, which is driven by the intellect. Yes, cost, benefits, risks, advantages, all these things is done, and that is called the intellect part of it. So what is the key point in learning here? While the mind represents the thoughts, conscious mind represents the thoughts, the intellect decides which thought is the most rational to act upon. That is fantastic expression here. Mind presents thoughts. Conscious minds presents thoughts. One, two, three thoughts. Then intellect decides one, two, three, which one is better. Why? On the basis of weightage, like risks and benefits. That's called the intellect, the decision maker, the highest mental faculty that discriminates and directs thoughts towards action. Let's take another real time example for clearer understanding. Let's look at intellect in leadership. Let me describe the scenario first. You are deciding whether to invest in a risky but potentially highly rewarding business venture. Mind it. There is an alternative here, the business venture, you're supposed to invest it, huge sums of money to invest. You know that it is risky, yes, but potentially highly rewarding because there is a risk and return factor as such. You recognize the fact that there is a return, maybe quite good, and it's able. And of course, we may be taking a risk. Let's not worry. Suppose if your thought process is like that, then what is the intellect's role here? Please note that we are at the decision point. Thought process is conscious. Conscious mind helps you to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and alternatives evaluation and all. Now on the dimension of evaluation, intellect's role is very specific. Now intellect's role is, yeah, gathers relevant data, all the relevant data regarding the decision point, like market trends, financial projections, advantage, disadvantages, etc. These risks and rewards. What are the rewards that we can get in the long term, and what are the risks that we need to bear? Are the risks manageable or not? And what happens if we take a decision, and what is the past decision outcomes? Post evaluation also will do. That's done by intellect. More in terms of evaluating the alternatives, I mean to say. Then what is the outcome if this exercise is done precisely good? Then the intellect helps you to make rational decisions based on objective analysis, mind it. Because it's not a question of gambling or hunches. It's just based on rational decisions. But then rational decisions must be based on objective analysis rather than emotional impulses, mind it. Emotions are fine. Let's talk mental excitements. Excited states of feelings are called emotions. You can't take decisions, business decisions, on a bit of emotion. Not supposed to be. Especially in a situation of company where the stakeholders' money is involved, like shareholders. So you need to answer that, isn't it? So the intellect helps you to make rational decisions based on objective analysis rather than emotional impulses. Okay, having discussed this much, what is the learning here? The intellect is very crucial in leadership to ensure decisions are made thoughtfully and strategically minded. Thoughtfully is a conscious part of it, and strategically is the intellect role, rather than impulsively, like emotions. I like this, I don't like this. So that's not a right way of decision making as such. Now, then interestingly, we have a discussion on the hidden power, that's a subconscious mind. Do you recognize that you have a subconscious mind? The answer is very definitely yes. Let's see. The subconscious mind operates beneath the surface of the conscious thought and stores long-term memories, habits, and deep beliefs and all that. And you try to evaluate all those things there. You have a lot long-term memory, you have some sort of habits, maybe good or bad, something like that, and you have deep beliefs, sentiments, and all, which may sometimes work miracles, which may sometimes drag you down. So let's see what is subconscious mind characteristics. It controls automatic behaviors, like driving a car without consciously thinking about it. Have you ever imagined like this? When you're driving a scooter, are you 24 by 7? Are you just thinking of that fact that I'm driving a scooter, I'm driving a scooter, I'm driving a car, or something like that? No. Subconscious mind takes charge, and automatically you make a phone call while driving, and you discuss a lot of interesting points there, and serious issues being discussed over phone. Am I clear? And you will be viewing television on car, or you will be listening to radio music in the car. All these things, see, it controls atomic behaviors, like driving a car without consciously thinking about it. And it stores emotional responses and deeply ingrained beliefs from past experiences. That's why subconscious mind is said to be very important. For example, you try to make a public speech, okay, and you couldn't make it because there's a large audience are there, and your preparation phase is not that good enough, and you have not attempted it in a programmed fashion, and all that made you to think that you fail, okay, and you failed also. Then this failure becomes a big thing that gets stored in your subconscious mind. That creates fear. You may say it's a stage fear. But again, somebody else will ask you to make a presentation, then that gets influenced. You have a very bad memory that get recorded. The same thing happens in case of positive responses as well. Negative responses or positive responses. So it stores emotional responses and deeply ingrained beliefs from past experiences. So the subconscious mind shapes much of your habitual behavior. It's become a habit, for example. Even without alarm, we get around 5 o'clock, 4:30, depends. That's why you say just look at 4 days, 5 days, you repeat this behavior and it becomes habit for you. Take a book and read, it becomes a habit for you. Go on. So the subconscious mind shapes much of your habitual behaviors. That's why even psychologists talk to you something like, you please try to answer your subconscious mind. Put something inside, all good things, and churn on that. Repeat, repeat, repeat. For example, someone who has consistently practiced assertiveness will instinctively handle conflicts and with confidence minded, as this behavior is stored in the subconscious mind. You can, that's why you say, people say that please substitute cannot with can. Don't say I cannot, I can't, you say I can. This is called auto suggestion. You suggest to yourself. Of course, you must have to back up with resources, not simply auto suggestion without any resources. But these suggestions will definitely help you to act with confidence. It is something like, you're said to be very assertive, practicing assertiveness, like meaning that your ability to say no and all that, you have your own boundaries set and let it happen. And this kind of repeat thing, if you feel that it is good enough, then that instinctively you can handle conflicts with confidence and all that, and this behavior is stored in the subconscious mind. So that is the hidden power, right? Some of the addition points for discussion here are, The subconscious mind governs involuntary reactions like fear or confidence. I was just talking to you here. So somebody wants you to make a presentation and a public speech. You say, "Sorry, sir, no, 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 I have some stage fear." Who told you that you have a stage fear? You have never tried earlier. Why you feel like that? Yes, this is a signal coming out from subconscious mind. No, 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 don't go there. You become a fool, big fool, if you present yourself on the dice. So this is what it means. So how do you train your subconscious mind? Yes, answer it, question it, come, practice, prepare, practice. And that positive cue you get when you make an attempt frequently, and that success story again get recorded, and the failure story will be erased in your subconscious mind, and your success story remains recorded. See, you can be with some sort of confidence, you can act and all that. So they say the role of subconscious mind in success is very much highlighted by many. Let's see the key function. It holds the atomic responses that can either propel you towards success or hold you back. So please try to realize what are the things that are holding back. Check, question, and revert it. That is called reversal. And you can do that provided that you go on repeating the success stories one after the other, one after the other, and erase all the negative aspects like I may fail, I may fail, I may fail. Failure is a failure. Okay, does not matter much, but you can learn from failures as a matter of fact. When you learn from a failure, that learning, what you call, get fed to the subconscious mind. And then yeah, absolutely fantastic. So the key function is that it holds the automatic responses. Okay, so that's very interesting aspect of it. So always think positive, feed your mind with positive thought process, and where you can't, you suggest that I can, provided that of course you need to secure resources and all that, learn well, understand well, pick up all the necessary strength and all that confidence. Let's take an example here. Now we today is the era of startups, right? And startup ecosystem is quite good. There's a funding layer and angel investors are there to fund your projects. But then it should be some you should have some intrinsic what do you call, a quality of taking a risk, and in order to call yourself as an entrepreneur. Successful entrepreneurs often have a deeply ingrained beliefs in their abilities. Fantastic expression here. When you would like to become an entrepreneur, you should have a strong belief in your ability. Of course, there's the darker side of it, but let's not forget the darker side. But should not get, should not go through a magnifying glass. Should not see through a magnifying glass what the failures, probable failures I have. No, sorry. So you need to look at the positive aspect of it. Yes, I have a lot of abilities to do businesses. Yes, that actually drives their persistence. And the subconscious mind suggests you, yes, you go ahead, you go ahead, you go ahead definitely. Nobody can, create an obstacle here. If anybody creates an obstacle, it's yourself only. It's a negative suggestion comes from the subconscious mind. So that's it. So even in the face of failure, one or two failures, as I've already told you, you know how to succeed. And that success stories will be recorded. Allow subconscious mind to get these success stories recorded, not the failure stories. If you go on recording failure stories, presenting it in a magnifying glass, you can never step forward. Not possible. That is the magic of subconscious mind. So let us take practical insight here. You can reprogram your subconscious mind. Mind, it is very, very interesting to note. You can reprogram your subconscious mind. How? Through positive affirmations, through repetition of good things, and habit building. How many of us really do this exercise from now on? All student friends, I'm challenging now. Take a note of this. Very, very important. You can reprogram your subconscious mind did. Absolutely. Provided that you have the willingness to go in for positive affirmations. Always say, I can. I mean, given the constraints, given the situations, you can't say I can become the prime minister of or president of United States of America. That's nonsensical assumption. Because you're not even a citizen of America. How can you aim for a presidentship of United States of America? I'm just on a lighter vein. I'm saying so you can reprogram your subconscious mind through positive affirmations, repetitions of success stories, and all, and that becomes a habit building minded. So what is the learning here? All leaders, good people, influencers with strong subconscious programming of resilience. Resilience is strength, meaning in a rough scenarios, failures do happen. Nothing can be a smooth walk, mind it. Nothing can be a smooth walk. That is troublesome scenarios. Road will be not clean and tidy. There are a lot of obstacles. So, are you supposed to be resilient? Yes, you are. So when something goes wrong somewhere, check what has happened, evaluate, take out that obstacle, and that gives you confidence. What happens if sometimes what happens with the negative bent of mind? You only concentrate on the negativity. I'm sorry, this is a blockade for me, and I cannot tide over that obstacle. I cannot win over that particular obstacle. If that gets recorded and programmed in your subconscious mind, you can never rise from your seat. Mind it. You become what you call very fragile and all that, and your risk taking ability will be at the rock bottom level. Then you can't find any reason for yourself to go on the ladder. It's not possible. So leaders with strong subconscious programming of resilience, yes, I can win, I can do this. Resilient, be resilient. For everybody there will be problems that surround your objective and goal achievement process. So that only, I mean, if you program and reprogram of resilience and confidence, tend to handle high pressure situations better. Very interesting. So let's look at some real life example of a case study or whatever. Subconscious mind in personal growth. Do you believe that you are in charge of your growth process? I'm not talking about some uncertain externalities that may also influence us, but then all of us will have the same externality. So, subconscious mind in personal growth. Let's take an example again. An MBA student practices public speaking regularly. Start speaking in front of few of your friends. Start speaking at home before your family members. Take recourse to that kind of activities. So now what happens? An MBA student like you practices public speaking very regularly. Now, if you go on practicing it regularly, what happens? Let's see. What is the subconscious mind role here? In making you an expert in public speaking, though not an expert, you do not have any sort of reservations like I have a stage fear, I may not have, I'm running short of time, or I may not the vocabulary problem or sentence problem and thought process problem, I cannot speak well. All these limiting factors can simply be attended. Let's see. If you go on repeating your thing like practicing public speaking very regularly, see the magic of subconscious mind role here. Repeated practice strengthens the belief in their abilities, making them less nervous over time. You yourself see number of times when a faculty asks you to come onto the dais and make a presentation, or come onto the dais and talk to your friends. And after all these are sitting opposite to you, or your own classmates and friends and all that. So this repeated practice strengthens the belief in your abilities and making you feel less nervous over time. You don't find shivering in your shoes when you are asked to come onto the dais because you practice it. So this kind of practice here, very essential. And their subconscious mind takes over. Student's subconscious mind takes over. Student who practices public speaking, subconscious mind takes over in critical moments, helping them speak confidently without overthinking. Absolutely. The subconscious mind comes to your help minded. It is unseen. It's not visible. But your strength, inner strength, is supported by your subconscious mind. It tells you, no, nothing to worry. Go ahead. You're speaking very well. Go ahead. No reservations. That confidence, internal confidence. So, what is then the outcome now if this process is to be fully understood? What is the outcome? Over a period of time, this student who may have the stage fear experience and all that perceived, if he or she goes on practicing public speaking regularly, the subconscious mind role is very nicely set to position yourself clearly, efficiently before the audience. Stage fear, etc., becomes nonsense for you. So over time, the student becomes a natural speaker, a spontaneous speaker due to positive reinforcement from the subconscious mind. This is positive reinforcement. That is what we call the positive suggestions. That is your auto suggestions. That is your positive affirmations. Clear? That's how it goes. So, what is the learning here now? A repeated exposure to a skill or a behavior can change how your subconscious mind reacts automatically, leading to personal growth. Do you believe in this statement? Absolutely, yes. So that's what you need to understand. See, we were talking about the mind. We are talking about the intellect, and third one is the subconscious mind. Let us now see here what is the interconnection, because we are talking about the anatomy of mind, right? Anatomy of self. So how the mind, intellect, and subconscious work together. Something interesting to talk in terms of the interconnectivity and interconnection. The mind represents the thoughts, yes, of course, and engages with the external environment. Yeah, it is because you have an external environment, interactions are there. You have people, you have settings and all, and that influences your thought process. The intellect evaluates and decides which action to take because a lot of inputs, right? You have a lot of inputs from external environment, but the intellect evaluates which one to. For example, you're before audience to make a public presentation. There are a lot of things, and people of different backgrounds are sitting there, and you have to make your presentations, how you choose your examples, and all that are very important here. And then the intellect evaluates and decides which example is best suited for this audience to talk about, which case that I can quote here. This is intellect, evaluates and decides which action to take. And the third one, the subconscious mind stores and automates behaviors and reactions based on past programming. Past programming, if it's a deliberately bad, it's something seriously bad experience. If you do not question that bad experience, you are gone. You question the bad experience and go for positive affirmations, retrain yours, then the subconscious mind takes charge and it recharges your enthusiasm, energy, etc., and it throws you in a very positive climate, and all positive behaviors, positive reactions will be there definitely, because the past programming must be put an end to and you need to reprogram. That is the success story of your subconscious mind influencing your thought process. But you have to initiate. Subconscious mind is that not a it's not something like a magical thing that comes to you and all, but you need to answer all your failures, realize the fact that there may be something which is not going right or wrong then, and you need to feed. What is wrong? Yeah, practice. Oh, this is the mistake I have committed. No, I should not make a mistake here. So if you just go on this, that's why we often say that the failures are stepping stones for success, provided that you reprogram the subconscious mind. All failures will give you learning points. If you forget, you forget completely, and you are forgotten also. So that's what it means. So failures, yes, but they're learning, and learning will be fed. So this is the mistake I have made, and this is the correction I need to make. And once you realize the fact that there is a correction need to be made, and practice on what is a deficiency you feel, and that's what we call reprogram. Let's take a real life example. You're offered a promotion. Yeah, very good. Your mind thinks about the opportunity. Your intellect evaluates whether it is aligned with your goals, and your subconscious mind draws from past beliefs, fear of failure, or desire for growth to influence your financial decision. Fantastic. See the statement, and you should understand it, taking part by part. What is the problem? What is the challenge? You're offered a promotion. See, promotion is a promotion. Good. Why not? But then, yes, your mind thinks about the opportunity. Yeah, fantastic. I get a promotion, pay hike, status hike, all that. Now your intellect evaluates, oh, whether it is okay or not. What is the goal process? How what the alignment of that opportunity with your goal process. That is the job of intellect. It evaluates. See, I wanted a promotion in this line, but the I have got a promotion in this line. So there is no matching of your promotion and your goal. Your goal is to become a say somebody else, but you are given a promotion to some other designation or whatever it is. So there is a missing alignment between your goals and an opportunity. This is evaluated by intellect. That asks you to take an action whether to accept the promotion or reject the promotion. See the intellect part of the brain. So intellect evaluates whether it is aligned with your goals or not. That's okay. Based on that, you take. But then subconscious mind, what it evaluates from the past beliefs. You may have a belief like fear of failure. Oh, no, 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 I have failed a lot of things on in terms of what do you call decisions, or tasks I take up. You have a fear of failure get recorded, and it is repeatedly being programmed to the subconscious mind, fear of failure. What is your decision then? You reject the promotion. When you reject the promotion, you're lost. We are not sure whether you will have a promotion the next thing, next phase or not. Who knows how many number of years it may take for you to get promoted. I'm looking at the hypothetical issues now. Or if your past belief, which is already programmed to your subconscious mind, at the desire for growth, yes, I grow, I must have to go up in the ladder, that influences your final decision whether you accept the promotion or not to accept the promotion with alternatives. Yes, yes, no, all these questions. Not. So what is then is the learning here? Most of the leaders who understand how to align these three elements. What are the three elements what we have been talking? The mind, conscious mind, the intellect, and the subconscious mind. So leadership and the anatomy of self. Leadership and the anatomy of self. Mind in leadership. Leader uses the mind to say to stay absolutely present, actively listen to others, and engage in creative problem solving. Minded. If this is a very interesting aspect. You should have a concentration. That's why you said this is conscious mind. If you're not conscious, no, no. What is meant by conscious and unconscious? Unconscious means what? Unconscious mind means he is he's not in consciousness. He's unconscious means whatever you say, whatever he sees, or whatever he smells, or whatever he listens, all sensory organs inputs are shut off. Nothing is just there. That's all. So that's why we say conscious mind. To stay present, actively listen to others, and engage in creative problem solving. Attempts are made because you're conscious of everything there in and around. Now, what is the intellect in leadership? We have already said in the application part we are talking about. A leader uses the intellect to assess situations, weighs pros and cons, meaning what is the plus, what is the minus, what is the benefit, what is the risk, and make sound strategic decisions because it is intellect. You take actions or from intellect, right decision or wrong decision. Sometimes you may be forced to go in for taking a wrong decision. Whatever it is, it is the intellect that helps you. Subconscious mind in leadership. Let's see. As I've already told you again, a leader's subconscious mind stores leadership habits like resilience and adaptability and empathy, which can be very crucial in guiding the reactions and interactions. If they are positive enough, fantastic. If the leader is having a feeling that is not resilient enough and he cannot adapt to the given set of circumstances, no, all these things count in the negative direction, and you're going to lose. But for a leadership, subconscious mind is always look at resilience and adaptability, empathy, and whatnot. It jumps into actions. So, what is then is the learning here? To be a holistic leader or a manager, one must balance these three elements: conscious mind, the intellect, and subconscious mind to manage oneself and others little later effectively. So let's take a real life example of Apple's Steve Jobs of mastering the self. Of course, this is not only the example, but just for the sake of an example, a real life story. Steve Jobs is an example of mastering self, the mind. Jobs constantly, I mean, Jobs means Steve Jobs, constantly engaged in a creative brainstorming. It's already, or it has been written somewhere. Jobs constantly engaged in creative brainstorming and thinks in terms of brainstorming. Storming of brains means here sits with people, discusses on projects and alternative projects and all that, coming up with breakthrough ideas for Apple products. Do you know that? Yeah, they're coming up with breakthrough ideas for Apple products. That's the consciousness of the brain. Alternatives, yeah, coming in and thinking. And when you want like to think, you should be you should be conscious of everything, internal and external environment. Everything must be understood, and you should be knowledgeable enough. What is then the intellect? Action, action part. So he used his intellect to make decisions about which products to invest in, evaluate market trends, and identify customer needs. Now, the action orientation, conceptualization and all that is fine. Conceptualizing the Apple product and all fine. But then how to proceed, get into the market as such. So he used his intellect to make decisions about which products to invest, what's the class of products to invest, evaluate market trends, and identify customer needs and jump into action. That is the intellect aspect of. Look at the subconscious mind influencing. His subconscious mind was programmed with the belief that innovation is the key. See, all dirty stuff, old things will not work in the market. So I need to innovate. I need to innovate. I look at brighter ideas. I look for brighter ideas, me and my team. That's how it goes. He always is Subconscious mind is told in a case study of the history of Steve Jobs, which drove his persistence in even after failures like being ousted from Apple once. Now today, this is the problem. You see, just see what happens. If not Apple, something else. If not this, something else. Why do you worry about this? So this subconscious mind so nicely programmed with the belief that innovation is the key. Yeah, you have to make it new, innovate. So what is then is the learning when you look at successful leaders like Steve Jobs. It is stated here that all these successful leaders have mastered the ability to leverage all components of their self to drive with their vision and success. What are all the components? One is conscious mind, to the intellect part of the brain and mind, and the subconscious mind as such. So that's where we are interested in looking at. So some of the practical applications of for executives and managers. Let's see. Managing self. Are you interested to train your mind to focus on the task at hand? Tasks will be given. There are two choices: involve in the task, take up the task, or run away from the task. Which is your first choice? Your option is for first. Of course, your subconscious mind says, no, 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 don't take up, you may be going wrong, something like that. If you are there to listen to that kind of negative suggestion from subconscious mind, you stop. Never ever do that. Reprogram your mind. Subconscious mind, it is said. So train your mind to focus on the task on hand. And that's why we say people are there, appreciated for multitasking. Use your intellect to make informed, rational decisions. Most of the time, you're involved in data driven decision making rationally, not emotionally. So use your intellect. That's your intellect part of the brain that evaluates yes, pros, cons, risks, benefits, calculates everything. So then you're informed. So this is wrong, this is right. You're informed. And based on that information, you are taking a rational decision, not an emotional decision. Just I don't like this, I don't take. I like this, I take. These are emotional decisions. These are not likes and dislikes won't work out here in business propositions. You have to make a decision on a rational footing as such. Now about subconscious mind, you need to answer. Reprogram your subconscious mind through positive self-talk and consistent habits. Sometime back we were talking on self-talk. Most of us, you or rather not so good, or are very much timid to talk about yourself. Self-talk. How many of us do this honest self-talk? It is for yourself, please note, not for the external people. Please be honest as possible to talk to yourself on defining yourself in terms of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So then, what are the key actionable points here out of this discussion? Develop a habit of mindfulness. Completely record these things. Please be clear in terms of what's happening in and around, so that it can enhance your awareness of thoughts and actions. Don't be in the dark. Please be mindful of everything which you come across. Sometimes people will willingly avoid something. No, that's not right. It may have a risk. That's why you avoid. No, that is the problem. Subconscious mind programmed things will come out there. No, no, don't take this, don't take this, don't take this. You take this, not that. The risks will be very many. There may be advantage and disadvantage. Your intellect also fails if your subconscious mind is not being reprogrammed. So strengthen your intellect by practicing analytical thinking and decision making is another thing. Why you are saying yes, why you are saying no. Analytical. So analyze things. Practicing analytical thinking and decision making is the good one. Then create positive affirmations. Never ever lose heart. Create I can, I can, I can. To rewrite your subconscious beliefs and success stories. Please note, rewrite, reprogram, reprogram your subconscious beliefs. So, what is the learning out here? These practical steps will help all of you, please mind it, my dear students, not only to manage yourselves, but also become more effective leaders. So, by conclusion, I just say the importance of understanding anatomy of self cannot be overstated. Please understand anatomy of self. Your conscious mind, your intellect part of the mind, and the subconscious mind. So the key learnings out of this particular discussion is one, the mind engages with the external world. Do not exclude yourself from the external world. Lots of things come, but taking decisions is the intellect part of it. So the intellect provides direction and makes decisions. Intellect may say, so this is the risky thing and no advantages and all. Okay, avoid. Intellect provides direction. Please note, decision making, right, wrong decision making is intellect provides it. But then your past actions and all that drive you to either go ahead scenarios or go back scenarios. So the subconscious mind drives you on base of habits and automatic reactions as such. Please be careful of reprogramming the subconscious mind when because it is suggesting to go back. It should suggest to go ahead. Of course, we need to answer all the limitations as such. So, what is the final thought here? Mastering the mind, the intellect, and the subconscious mind, reprogramming the subconscious mind. If these things happen, if you're conscious of these things that are there, will help you make better decisions, build positive habits, and lead others very effectively. So then why waiting? Now start acting on the things. So reflect on your own use of mind, the intellect, and the subconscious mind in decision making exercises minded. So, what are your actions? Reflect on one decision this week. Take a decision. You have taken a decision, like you purchased some product or whatever it is. I mean, I'm from the student's perspective. I'm talking. See, if you take a decision in a business, real business scenarios, you have taken a decision. Reflect on and analyze how these three elements get interacted. What conscious mind said, how intellect decides your action plan and all that. What is the suggestions? What are the suggestions that are coming from the the subconscious mind? They get connected. So now start building positive habits minded by consciously programming your subconscious mind with positive affirmations and regular practices. See, positive affirmations, sitting in a vacuum and say, I can, without catching up the necessary resources and all that is gone. You have to repeat, practice, regular practice with positive affirmations. For example, in public speaking, you have, say, your, subconscious mind says, no, you will definitely fail. You have a stage fear right from the school days also. You have a stage fear. All these things are pulling you down. So are you interested to going for regular practice? And this regular practice with the positive affirmations. Yeah, all dirty things. No, I don't believe. Earlier phase is earlier phase. Let me redefine myself. I can do this. But practice. How you practice, I have already given you. Like sitting before your friends and talking, allow them to give you the feedback, or talk before your family members. Request them that I'm practicing public speaking. Please help me out. Your friends or whatever. Whenever in classroom environment, whenever faculty asks for you to make a presentation, take a first step, take a first chance, come on. This is how the regular practice would be, and this helps you to reprogramming your past unnecessary things, and the subconscious mind get reprogrammed and all that. Now my closing statement, my friends, here: start your leadership journey by mastering yourself. So lots of things to come in the next coming sessions. But I say this is a curtain riser session on managing self. The title goes the anatomy of self, the mind, the intellect, and the subconscious mind. Thank you profoundly very, very much. And see you in the next master class scheduled by Upendra sir. Upendra, anything to say? And please, as sort of a conclusion.
Yeah.
It's exactly
So
it's
it's
four
one.
o'clock.
It's
Four
a
o'clock.
wonderful session, sir.
Thank you
Uh,
so much.
so m- the relationship between the mind, intellect, how they are interconnected, that I
Yes.
understood very well, sir.
Yeah.
As I always am teaching the technical papers, I'm not bothered about these things. But if you were curtainize this session, I got very much excited to listen the next upcoming classes also, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sir, is there any how we relate personality down? I gone through some texts in yoga textbooks. What I found that from yoga perspective, we